Okay. So what we'll do is we'll just wait for some people to join. And then I think Linnea Fletcher should come because that's what she said. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure we can just kind of get to know each other and then make it a shorter meeting. The goal of today's meeting was that we learn about how to increase enrollment in biotech programs at community college and build a high school to community college pipeline. That was the goal. So we'll see. Hey, Linnea, how are you?
Hi, Dr. Matabushi. How are you?
I'm good. How is everything?
I'm hanging in there.
How are you teaching juniors or seniors this year?
I have freshmen for bio and I have physics. So I have everybody. So I have 9 to 12.
Wow, that is a lot for sure.
You look well. I'm glad. I'm glad to see you looking well.
Yeah. It has been a little bit crazy. You know, the holidays can throw you off like a lot.
Truly. And with everything going on now, it's good to see everybody on this side of the ground. So it's good.
Yeah. We can only hope that the schools will open in fall, because at least in our county, we are seeing the senior students are seeing a notification on top of their window saying the school will run like usual, but if it doesn't, then we are not sure we are going to do 4x4 schedule, which we were 7. And it's like, that's very, very upsetting.
Yeah, they told us
Hi.
March 1st. So I think March 1st we're looking at. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure they said March 1st and then they'll postpone it.
That's what I'm thinking too. So I'm not even going to worry about it until then.
Yeah. Yep. How are things in other counties? I know you guys, everyone is from a different county. So maybe we can just chat about that till we are waiting.
Frederick, they're not sure. They said they'll start on the 28th, hybrid for middle school at least, but I mean, I think they're going to postpone it. Yeah, we haven't got any email.
Wow.
Yeah, our district in Charles County is still virtual, and they did just vote to see, and they decided to keep pushing it until we'll come back in February and decide then. And then, yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I think like I said, in Howard County, I know Cindy knows better, but in Howard County, like I said, they have no clue. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to decide literally till May, June or something. That's what it feels like. Right, Cindy?
The CT, we were just told recently that the CTE programs can bring in small groups as early as February, or the beginning of February. But there's a number cutoff of how low the case levels have to be. And we're nowhere close to that. I mean, I can't imagine it's going to be down that low by February. So as soon as we go down that low, they said we're in the first wave. So we'll see.
Yeah, back in October, I was able to see small groups of my kids after school, like after school tutoring, and they were able to come in, but it was hard, you know, for an hour or two and only one day a week, it's hard to get like anything really done. So we kind of did some labs here and there, and I only had a few kids even come in, like one junior. My seniors, of course, they were the largest group. And I think I had like 9 one week and maybe like 7 the next week. So it's just, yeah. But our CTE programs, not mine, but our other CTE programs at our school are in the first wave to come back. So my kids will still be virtual for a very long time, I think.
It's only the second year students they're letting back. And that's, I think, partially because they're having a lot of the kids drive themselves. They do have bus service, but almost all of our students were deciding to drive themselves. And it was going to be 2 days a week. We actually went back for 2 days and then they closed us down again because our numbers got too high. That was in, I guess, November. So we'll see.
Yeah. I think while we are waiting for Linnea, it's not a bad idea that we kind of introduce ourselves and maybe talk a little bit about the programs, and that way we'll learn a little more. The group is definitely way bigger than what you see here. Who is missing? I think me and Savita can share a lot on who all are missing, but first let's start with the introduction. So I'm Amrita Madabushi, and I was an associate professor at Baltimore City Community College for about 8 years. And now I have recently transitioned to National Institute on Aging in Baltimore. And there I work as an associate director for the postdoctoral affairs in the training office, and oversee about 100, more than 100 postdocs. Also, I work as an adjunct at BCCC, but biotechnology has been my passion. And so I'm really happy to be connected with all of you. I think I'm kind of in the middle. On one side is Savita. So Savita, can you please introduce yourself?
So I'm Savita. I teach at Frederick Community College. I'm the biotech program manager there. I just started last year, but as Amrita said, even I have a lot of passion for biotech and want to spread the word around and get more students enrolled, and want to see the program grow, which is a big concern.
How many students, like approximately, do you typically have in the program for Frederick?
So, like if you look at all the students enrolled, it's like 20, but like in each class we have around 8. Yeah. So, but overall enrollment is also low. Yeah.
Overall enrollment.
Yeah,
is
20.
low. All right, thank you. And to my other side is Heather.
Hi, everyone. I'm Heather Cadogan, and I teach at Cecil College. And I've taught as an adjunct for the past 7 years, but this is my actual first year as a full-time professor there. And Cecil is just starting a bioprocessing degree. And so I will be involved with it, but it is in the developmental stages. So it's all, kind of new. So I teach biology and genetics right now, but the bioprocessing program is just getting off the ground. This spring semester, they're going to be offering the first course in the program. So I'm not even exactly sure what I will be teaching and when that's going to happen, but so I'm kind of in the learning stage right now.
Well, and so is that, and it's already MHEC approved and everything. It just has to run, right?
Mm-hmm, correct. So yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was very fast.
Yeah, we are so happy to have you because, I did not really know Cecil had a program, first of all, because we kind of know all the programs in the state. So for you to be involved, like we have so many resources that we can get you access to.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I can share some of those with you, but thank you for joining us, and we will be connecting you with all the resources.
Thank you.
If you have not gone to Innovate Bio website, I'm going to write that name in here.
Okay.
Innovate Bio, and if you go to that website, there is something called Course in a Box. It's extremely useful because it has actually well-developed courses.
Mm-hmm.
Can get you access to either a Canvas site or a Google folder, which has a summer workshop containing a lot of material, which is available for use freely.
Mm-hmm.
We welcome that if you want to go ahead and do some of this.
That's great.
Sorry. So how's the enrollment for your course, the new course?
Well, as I said, it's brand new. And so this spring semester is the first course is being offered, and I'm not teaching that. Someone else is teaching that. And I think they have, I don't know, last time I checked, it was maybe 4, which is pretty good for, brand new, trying to get it off the ground. I don't know if they've, recruited more or not. As I said, it's all kind of new to me. Even when when they hired me, which was back in the spring, it was still kind of, they were just exploring it, but it's just been so fast that they've, decided to move ahead with it. So I know that the other people in like my department chair have worked with the Jefferson Institute of Biotechnology. and so are getting a lot of support and information from them as well. So I was actually a few of us were scheduled to go there this month, but it got rescheduled, pushed back. So we'll be going in March.
What about the equipment, the bioreactor, like what do you guys have, or you have money?
Yeah, they've been acquiring a lot, but again, I have not been part of that. So someone else has done all that. So that's what I'm saying. I am really like brand new into it. I need to be, brought up to speed. I'm really just in the like learning and gathering information mode right now. So my background, so as I said, so I teach biology, but my background before education was I worked in the clinical laboratory as a medical technologist. So because I have more of that clinical laboratory background, they felt like I was a good fit for this bioprocessing program.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. And then I have Heidi on one of my squares or boxes of Zoom. Yes. Heidi.
I'm Heidi Ortolano. I teach in Charles County at North Point High School. And our biotech program has been around for, I think, since the school opened in 2005, but it's only my 3rd year there. And I'm still, I have a curriculum, but I'm needing to like revamp it a little bit because the teacher before me was only there for 2 years, and the teacher that was there long term left and took like all of her stuff with her. So I'm kind of not working from scratch, but trying to still create my curriculum. So, and our community college here, the College of Southern Maryland, does have a MLT program. And I have been in contact with the director of that program there. And so we are looking for, we're working towards college credit for my students. And that's kind of on the books to get through the next year or so. And it's the course that they would get credit for is like their introductory course.
That college is, remind me, it's Montgomery or is it Frederick? The college credit that are you working with a certain college?
Colleges, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
College of Southern Maryland.
Oh, Southern Maryland. Yes, of course. Yeah, you said that. Yep.
How many students do you have enrolled in your program?
In my program, we do have a cap at 18 seats each year. So the kids do fill out an application and go through that process because my school is the only one with the biotech program, and then all the other schools in the county have PLTW biomed. So the students have the kind of choice to apply to my school or go to their home school for biomed. And our school has the biotech program with me, and we have the Academy of Health Professions for nursing. So I always tell everybody that the kids that go to their home schools for biomed, it's kind of like a combination of our 2 programs. So
how many schools have the project Lead the Way?
The other 6. So we have 7 high schools in our county, and all 6 of them have the biomed program, and then it's just my school that has the biotech. And because all the other home schools have the PLTW program, our school does not do PLTW.
So then how did your school start this biotech program? Like that's what how do you get other schools? Because in Frederick, we have 2 schools that offer Project Lead the Way, but again, as you said, it's like only 18 or 20 students max. So there are a lot of students who want to do it, but they don't have the opportunity. So how does a high school actually start, or like, because all the curriculum, how do you get it all approved? And what kind of credits do they get? Do they get high school? Does it count for the diploma, like high school diploma?
For my program, yes. Like ours is just normal, almost like elective classes. They are honors weighted. So they do get that like half a point extra for their GPA. And I'm not like, I am still working towards getting our biotech program like approved by the state to be a full CTE program, like I guess a certified CTE program. Like I'm in that process. I don't know why it never was before me. I mean, the program's been around for a long time, but I think it was kind of like pushed between our county's science department and our county's CTE department. Like it was like, oh no, it's yours. Oh no, it's yours. Oh, you know. And they finally decided, okay, yes, we are going to make this a certified CTE program and everything. So I filled out the program of study for the state and sent that in. Although they have come back and said that since there are high schools in Maryland with a biotech program, I have to align mine to theirs. And so now I have to figure out what other high school like program that I'm supposed to be aligning this to. So
How many high schools have biotech in Maryland?
Oh,
Lots of them.
I don't know. I think Cindy would be the best person to answer that
Person.
because she has the longest association with the highest. I mean,
I don't know how many have biotech programs that are actually biotech programs. We're definitely, Montgomery County, I think, has one. Baltimore County, I think, has one. We were what was called a local program for a while, and that might be what you're going through. But all of these questions that you're asking about how to get it approved and who designed it and all that all happened like way above the heads of the teachers who would actually be teaching it with, I don't know whose input. I mean, it's kind of bizarro when you look back at some of the equipment they bought and kind of how it's designed and how it's run through. There are pluses and minuses of being in CTE. I mean, the plus is that the funding for the equipment is really good. But everybody's always kind of aghast that we don't count as a science credit. We just count as a CTE credit. Yeah. And we don't do professional development with the science teachers. We're with, the computer teachers and the construction teachers, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, same here. Like that's my department is our culinary teacher and our automotive teacher.
But you know what, if you want to get in touch with somebody who has a newly approved biotech program, I will happily send you to the people above me who have been involved with that. One of whom has at least some background in biotech. Yeah,
that'd be helpful.
Biology.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Email me.
Okay.
And maybe email me twice because I lose my emails.
I'm the same way.
And maybe, I was thinking like we should do it only a little bit infrequently because, everyone is so busy once in 2 months kind of thing. But we could focus on, 1 or 2 programs at a time to learn what we can learn from each other's program. And so that would be really nice. And it would have a lot of things that we can do together in the state of Maryland. I have next to me to be introduced is Anna. So Anna, could you please, sorry. You are on mute.
Yeah, I'm just kind of popping in. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I am a high school teacher in Title I school, and I'm trying to get the pathway started in our county. So far in DeKalb County, there are no biotech pathways. In other counties, they have some awesome, like Paulding and with Mark Peterson, and then there's one with in Forsyth County where she does the iGEM. She has an awesome program.
iGEM is the one that.
Yeah, but their curriculum is really intense, and they recruit them for middle school. So I really can't compare my pathway with their pathway right now. And plus, I'm having difficulties getting the administration to buy in. I did contact the head of CTAE in my county to see what we could do to get the kids to buy in. As I said, weighted credits, all the information that I'm hearing are ideas for me to present to them. We do have the CTA pathway in the state of Georgia. It also counts as a 4th year credit. But what we don't have is the weighted credit, which would be a buy-in for the kids. And I don't know, for me, I've taught 2 semesters. And the first semester I was trying to do mostly labs, but then the students come in without the proper background. So I spent a lot of time, and I realized they didn't have the math skills or the background to do it. So now during COVID, I got a lot of great ideas from Innovate, from the summer program. As Amrita said, they have a lot of great resources there to use. And I had a good time doing the online simulations and getting the concepts down. But I feel like I need more time to do both. I don't know if I could do it in a semester. If I could have a whole year to do that, that would be awesome. So there's a lot of things I'm trying to work through, but I have a long ways to go.
Yeah. And you raised so many good points. And Georgia, we know that some clusters in Georgia are like awesome in doing biotech. And I know that, and kudos to you for, working on your own county and your own school. And I do know that does remind me, Anna, that there's a lot of resources, not only Innovate BioThink, but they continue to have lectures and seminar series, which we will post on the Facebook page we have. I'm going to share the link. I also wanted to let Heather know that Jim Dickloy, I can't remember which community college, but he has this awesome simulation of bioprocessing and biomanufacturing, which could be extremely useful for bioprocessing programs. So I think we can try to, I can see where it is located. Sometimes it's a little hard.
Solano. It's Solano Community College, California.
Okay. Yeah. But I know his simulations are very good for that particular application.
So I have a question for everyone. Do you, for the high school, do you just have the pathway that's for educational, or do you have the pathway that's for industry? Like they do in Texas. I remember Jennifer gave a talk and she mentioned how there were the 2 different tests with base testing. I know Georgia BioEd, they're trying to get a grant so they can get the base in Georgia. I was just wondering how that fit into your curriculum, or
we don't have base yet. In Maryland, we don't have base.
base.
We're trying. It is something we talked about last time, and I have a video that was posted, and I can share with you that email.
Avi's doing base. I think Avi's given base at his, and we're supposed to, knock wood, be giving base this year. We'll see.
Yeah, this year I think some people, everyone is trying to get that off.
But ours is very much geared towards 4-year degree. When they made my program, it was while they were trying to revamp the CTE from what had become kind of a dumping ground. And so instead they rebranded it as a tech magnet program and put in an Academy of Finance and the biotech kind of to be, to zhuzh it up a little bit and have it be a higher level program. And yet we still don't have any application process. So we do get kids who in fact don't have any math skills, and it can still be a problem. Yeah.
And Cindy, while you are sharing, can you share a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, I'm in Howard County. We have a 2-year high school program. So they have 2 credits in their junior year and then 3 credits in their senior year. It's a GT program, so they do get a nice bump in their GPA. So I've been there now almost 15 years, I guess. And when I started, we had two sections of 9 students and we were capped at 18. And this year we have 3 sections of 28 students. So it's been a huge increase, and it's kind of exponential because you need to get enough that it starts to be something that people know about in the community. So that would be my suggestion for people trying to grow it. And then also you want to think about where your target audience is. So while we were small, I went out and did guest speaking as to GT biology classes, particularly, both to meet the science teachers and to meet the high school students who would be kind of my candidate audience. That was more helpful than the administration kept coming up with kind of, I think, wacky ideas like, oh, put a sign outside the school. I mean, then you have to happen to drive through that road. What you want to do is know, and we have 12 high schools in the county. So if I know the GT biology teachers at most of those schools, they can at least, when somebody says, oh, I love this stuff, they can send people on.
What is GTE?
GT is just gifted and talented. They get a +1 on their GPA for taking that class. So they can get a total of 5 if they get an A. So we get a lot of pre-med kids who are really babying their GPA.
Yeah. Yes, very much. Yeah. Okay, so now we have 2 more people, and both are from Baltimore City. First is Lene, and then Sean is the last one to introduce. So Lene, can you please go first?
Hi, I'm Linnea Randolph Lopez. I have been an educator in Baltimore City for 15 years. I teach at Edmondson Westside High School. I was privileged enough to see Dr. Matabushi and my colleague James Epris start a program from the ground up at the school. And Baltimore City has a lot of challenges and things we need to do, like our programs, as far as we're a CTE school, but we do have Project Lead the Way, but that does not communicate with the academic part of our school. So there's a lot of challenges. But Dr. Matabushi and Mr. Eppers have made some gains in the school, and I'm just here to support them and see what else we can do to further that at Edmonton.
And Shan?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Shan Rajendran. I've been teaching in Baltimore City for the past 20 years. I taught at Dunbar High School, where I started the program. I used to teach biotech and then moved to a Project Lead the Way biomed program. Now, for the last 5 years, I've been teaching at an all-girls public high school in Baltimore City, the same biotechnology program. And this school also got state certification for Project Lead the Way biomed program.
Well, thank you very much. Since Linnea Fletcher is not here, okay, I'm going to basically have like a little bit of open discussion, but I am happy to share the model that we were developing at Baltimore City Community College. And, that when we were developing it, that was, I think, one of the first models that I knew in the school. I did not know in any Maryland, any of the counties that there was a program being established. So this was, I'm just going to share this PowerPoint. I hope you can see it. It's biotechnology pipeline. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So this was the goal of this particular program, this particular, I guess, initiative. And we also had a supporting grant, was to create a pipeline from high school to, of course, our goal was industry via the community college. And so what we wanted to do was establish a model dual enrollment program. And I'm not sure of this, let me just say, I'm not sure of the status of the program, because the program was, while I was there, it was running, but at this time, there are a lot of changes happening. So it's kind of hard to say. So this is just the general outline. And what we were trying to do is, we know that the education is like definitely, it's rapidly evolving and people are enrolling in college classes more and more. So we wanted to offer this program to a certain partner school. And we decided that our partner school is going to be Edmondson West Side High School. One of the reasons for choosing this particular school was that when we would pick schools which are already very, which I would say like high ranked, like Poly or some of those other schools, like trying to think of some other Baltimore City schools, Dunbar, some of those students actually won't end up coming to Baltimore City Community College. So the first thing was strategically choose your partner. Choose a partner where you think the potential is the students are not essentially always looking for like going out of state, going to big private colleges or schools, where the students also, where there is an actual need. So that was one of the things for us, choosing the partner. And I think that this would be valid for any of the community college. And of course, the nearness of the school was also a huge factor, because there will be so much commute involved. And so the goal of the program was, like I said, to have several purposes, but one of the main goal was that they complete a certificate program while they are graduating from high school. So I'm going to share with you what that certificate program is. The program is still there. So the goal, like I said, the objective is completion of the certificate program. The certificate program was 20 credits. So just, it's not too much, it's just about 20 credits. And we just wanted those students could transition to BCCC. And out of those 20 credits, so this was about, I would say about 15 or so would transfer to the associate degree. So essentially, we created a stackable certificate to associate degree pathway, where the goal is that they feel they have finished a part of the associate degree, motivating them to finish that associate degree. Also to help gain internships and job opportunities in industry or research labs. Feel free to interrupt me anytime because, like I said, you know, it's not something that I'm happy to share more. So what was the biotechnology certificate program? So we created a certificate option of the biotechnology program. And I would tell you the timelines are amazing. 2008, the program was created. When I entered 2012, Baltimore City Community College, nothing had been done about the program. It was lying in a folder for 5 years. It was not even touched. And when I came in both of these programs, I found that they were standalone certificate programs. They had nothing to do with the associate degree. So we had a lot of different kinds of tasks, how to make these stackable to the associate degree. Also the task like how to get enrollment and then how to increase the enrollment, keep up and increase the enrollment. So this is the model of the programs in Baltimore City Community College. There is a biotech lab certificate, which takes about 12 months to complete, especially it can take even less if you have completed, you know, if you have done already some math and English classes. So now the two certificates had overlapping courses and they could both be completed. And the lucrative thing was a student could finish a certificate and associate degree in a kind of short time. So in the sense, like when you're graduating with associate degree, you would also graduate with the certificate. So it would give them the added advantage that you are graduating with, let us say, a lab animal certificate along with a biotech associate's degree, thus adding to the credentials. And then those 60 credits are transferable to certain institutions. I mean, we all know how hard it is to transfer biotech. So we know that it at least transferred to University of Maryland MedTech program where students go on to become medical lab scientists. It transfers also partially to Morgan. So the rest of it is like, we don't have MOU with everyone, but with whoever we had, it was transferring 60 credits. The other thing was the lab animal certificate would provide them a pathway to a lab animal technologist or lab animal technician. And that would be extra credentials because not everyone wants to handle a mice. So you are going in with the additional skill of being able to handle the mice. And of course, to the jobs. Just to give you a flavor of the courses that were being offered, and it was supposed to be done in like 2 years. If you can see here, like, you know, it kind of goes on for quite some time because every semester they are doing only a 3-credit class, either a 3-credit class or a 4-credit. That's it, including summers. So they were doing only very limited class coursework. And
Interrupt and ask a question? So these,
Yes.
because I'm not understanding how you're, I'm seeing 3 credits in the spring. That's a high school class? How do you run credits in your, no, that's a college class.
Yeah, I want to say these are college credits. Very good question. And I also wanted to tell you specifically to the high school teachers that all the credits mentioned are college credits here because, you know, in high school it's 1 or 0.5. So I hope this is not too confusing. The 3-credit at community college or university would mean 3 hours of teaching per week. And a 1-credit class means the class is held for 1 hour per week and so on and so forth. So in general, and some of you already might know it because of, you know, your own kids or other people who are taking college classes, that typically people do 12 credits in 1 semester. And they do, which means that you can literally finish this course if you were full-time, like I said, in 2 semesters because it's not more than 24 credits. Now, if you were going to say, how does this transfer in terms of high school credits? That was the, what should I say? I can call it a drawback. The way we were starting, we did not really get any kind of agreement. We did not get any kind of, I would say, support in terms of, like, they said you can run the program. The CTE office said you can run the program. But I mean, and they did take our syllabus. They did take, they did put it in as electives in their system, but they didn't really substitute. It wasn't like one class would substitute for, I don't know, like a biotech GT, or one class could substitute for, let us say, computer literacy. They said could possibly substitute for a computer class, but in reality, not much efforts were made from the school side or from the college side. So when we were offering this program to the students, what we told them was that it's going to be very simple. Every Monday, Wednesday, right after the school, you will be there for about 1 to 1.5 hours in the evening, and you will earn 3 credits almost every semester. Now, when they ask the question, is it something that is equivalent to high school credit? Some of them were offered as electives, but most of them didn't. Many of them were not also. So we told them that would be very subjected to what they were taking that semester, and it's not offered, and it's something that they have the option to do or not, but they don't have to pay for the classes. Because we had a little bit of financial support system. So the goal was they were doing the courses, but it wasn't really a part of the mainstream courses. It was more like an elective courses that they were doing. So I think there is a lot of gaps in this. We realized that, but there wasn't too much support that we got in terms of embedding and making this a solid structure in when we were doing it. So are there any questions about any of the courses that you see here?
So this certificate that they get is approved by the college.
Yes, they do get a college level certificate.
And then the courses were similar to what you had in your, like the certificate for your college, right? Like there was,
Absolutely.
You didn't change the syllabus.
We did not. I would say we expanded on the material a little bit to make it like understandable, started from a lower level a little bit, but we did not change the final outcomes or exams. And I can tell you it was a little bit challenging. I clearly remember that there were some students who were in D's, and when that happened, the teacher suggested like we could just bump them up. Said, no, we cannot bump anyone up. We can provide some extra credit work. We can let them retake a quiz or an exam, but there is no there is no such provision. I hope you guys agree with me. I don't know. I mean, Cindy's, I can hear Cindy say yes, but that's what it was. So it was pretty rigorous. They did a great job. And I think the main important thing in this program was we were not asking them to come to the college. We were going to the school. And I know Linnea is someone we met often on the school property, but we wanted to bring about this kind of change in the school where we are doing the classes in school and the students have a pride in saying, oh, I have just finished my school and I'm going to do a college class now. So creating that was really, really important for us, and having that in school would bring some change because Edmondson has a lot of potential, but not everyone is like going into academics too much. You know, they have so many other things to do, so much fun stuff to do, clubs and other things. And we wanted to bring this as a fun stuff too. So that's what
Did you have labs? I see you have like lab communication skills. I assume that's like lab notebook and things. And do you do it concurrent with actual labs? So they do it in practice or just about?
Great question. So this lab communication skill was not with lab, but instrumentation and techniques for biotech was done in a lab. So every Saturday they would come, because by the time they were in this level, they were already past 16. They could come in a bus. So they would come in the morning on Saturday at 8:30, and I even distinctly remember we would buy some chips and soda and coffee and stuff for them and keep so that they feel like motivated to come in the morning, once in a while pizza. So, and then the pandemic hit. So they were there for half the year, and that's what happened after March, and they could not come. And I so really wish that we could have done this whole semester with them. They learned pipetting, pH, dilutions, and some of the techniques in this particular one, how to be in a lab, always wearing a lab coat and goggles and all of those things. But the laboratory communication skill, lab math, all of this were things that we were doing always in school. And I'm happy to share some of the contents with you if you ever. Lab math was one of the favorite things. And I developed this class LSS 101, 102, and 103. I developed these from the scratch and in consultation with the industry, how they should be. So we, like, for example, lab communication skill, we did teach them how to have good, laboratory practice, not only just GLP, but how to write GDP, the good documentation practices part. You have to write things like that, and how do you incorporate that? So this was what they were doing, and they would start in a sophomore year. It takes 2.5 years. So if you are intending to make one course, like if for us it was the entire program, so it was a little bit challenging. And some students did pretty well, and then the other students did find that this was not their interest. So we started with a batch of 20 and about 18, and then we were right around 11 or 10. And I can only tell you one thing. I think that was a success too. If you were in this program and in the 10th grade and you think this was not your passion, glad you found it out when you were in 10th grade, not when you took it in college and say, hey, this is not what I want to do. So we counted that as a success too. It's
Prerequisites for college classes, because they have to have English and math, and some classes need biology, right?
okay, prereqs. So
Prereqs.
great question. So prereqs, so you would be, so when the certificates were developed in 2008, the goal of the certificate was like, you're going to start from, like, anyone could be having a certificate, anyone. So most of these courses did not have any prereqs because lab communication skill was supposed to be a prereq for another class in the program. Similarly, lab math for instrumentation and technique. So the prereqs are incorporated within the program as the initial few credits. And then you are supposed to do the sort of the higher level kind of class. And I'm not sure if you are surprised to see lab animal science or something, but Baltimore City Community College has the only lab animal science certificate in the entire state. There's no other program. I mean, no other.
I think it's a great idea. Do they have hands-on animal experience with that or no?
So they do, when they do go to internship, yes. They would go to Johns Hopkins because we did not have animals on site. So so they were mandated to do internships at Johns Hopkins or University of Maryland, and then they would learn how to work with animals. And I can tell you that when I left, I mean, when I joined the program, there was no program. But when I left and the program was running, out of 35 full-time people in University of Maryland, 7 were from Baltimore City Community College. I think we counted that as a huge success, that people really came to learn about our program. And, I mean, it was nice. It's a good pathway, lots of success. If you go to AL8, like a lab animal pathway, lot of success because it doesn't involve a whole lot. And I'm happy to share exactly what we did. We made the manual that lab animal facilities use as the course material, and someone who was either a veterinarian or a expert in that field and had worked a lot with mice was a person who would be teaching that, and it worked out really, really well. Students had some amazing experiences. Also, just to tell you, a biotech lab certificate student might not start beyond more than 12 to 15 an hour. A lab animal science tech student starts between 15 to 18 an hour. It's a lot of difference. So, so we were just trying to develop these and just to see how these can be a pathway to completion of degrees. So the goal was to get them young while they were in 9th and 10th grade, like Anna was saying for Georgia, you know, but not too young. I mean, middle school we felt was like we couldn't really approach them. 9th grade we tell them, 10th grade we start the action. By the time they're leaving 10th grade, they finish some credit, and then by the time they are in 12th grade, they should be completing. And then the internship we had already we had a grant. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the grant. We had a grant which was a $41,000 CTE innovation grant, where we were able to actually have an advisory, like a paid advisory board. Like we were actually, you know, some of these people are really busy, so really happy to have them pay at a very high rate to come on and share their advice multiple times during that 1 year of the grant, in the initial start phase of the grant and the program. And they were very excited and very supportive about getting students in their companies. So this was just to show you, you know, this is the picture of the students, and not sure if I see James here. I don't see Linnea here, but these are some of the students, and we also had another faculty here, but I think they had a good experience. They said they had a good time. So I want to stop sharing now and just kind of get your thoughts on it, because did you think, I mean, I felt like there was a lot of things that we could do better, but it also meant waiting a lot more. Like suppose we integrated it well. You all know how hard it is to integrate a school system with a college system. Really, really hard. So, you know, but we, at least with this, whenever you have a high school program, the assurance is you are going to have at least 10 people, 15 people in the program who run as a cohort, which really, really bumps up your number. So now the question is, according to your program, how you're going to do it. I mean, that's again something that we can share, but I'm just saying that was one of the goals. And I don't know what happened, Linnea. I know she was driving from somewhere, so I don't know if she probably didn't reach her destination. I'm pretty sure she'll be happy to share next time. But Texas has been doing this for many, many years. And what I have understood is they have hundreds of students in the dual enrollment program, not even talking about like 20, 30, 40, 50. I've heard hundreds of students via going through the dual enrollment program and learning these classes. And I'm not sure if everyone does base. That's again a question that I don't know, but they are very integrated that way.
I think they have two pathways. One is the industry and one is educational. So I don't think they have to do the base on the educational in Texas. I think that's what Jennifer was saying.
That's right. Yeah, and they could just, do you know, Anna, if they go to Austin Community College, many of them, do they?
I don't know. I thought it was a high school thing, you know, but I know Linnea is in charge of it. So I don't know how it goes, and it seems, I'm not sure. Yeah, but I know in Georgia, in the counties, in more affluent counties, in Paulding County, they kind of recruit them, and they take AP Bio in 9th grade. And they had in Forsyth, I think there's a few high schools that do have the pathway, and they seem pretty awesome. But the kids are taking like AP Bio, calculus, and they have all these prerequisites. So you know it's going to be at a higher level. So I'm kind of interested in how people who don't have those types of kids function. Yeah.
We have a teacher now who's doing an ag biotech program.
What?
Agricultural biotech, the Case Western curriculum. And that it actually, she also gets GT credit for it, but she is not getting the same students right now.
Right. So how's she recruiting?
So she had, actually there were several families in Howard. There are a few farm families in Howard County, not a lot.
Right.
And they had been really heavily lobbying to have a farm program. And so the first year she got, I don't know, it happened to be a year that there were like 6 of those cousins who all came together. And the 4-H program does some recruiting for her, but then she also has ended up getting a bunch of students who, like I said, there's no application for our program, but if we kind of, if they become afraid of our curriculum, they sometimes will switch into her curriculum.
That's
So,
what my problem is. They, oh, this is too much work, you know, and then it gets around. Even the brightest students are the expectations are set so low that it's hard to make the kids do homework and then, be committed and stay on and recruit other students. But I think the farming aspect, I know the rural aspect, I think there's a lot of funding available.
there is a lot of, so I'm very jealous of the farming funding. They give a ton of money, and also the finance academy has a ton of money too. So unfair.
Speaking of animals, I was told, I haven't done it yet, if you go to a vet and ask for the testicle, they have a lot. It's great for DNA extraction because they have a lot of DNA.
Wow.
So I always thought that'd be kind of a neat project too, if you knew the breed of the dogs, to see if they were susceptible to a certain sort of disorder, and you can tell genetically what it was or something like that. I don't know. But I have another question. Does anyone do online laboratory notebooks, or is it all written? I was trying to figure out how to do benchling, except I didn't really get the hang of it. Or, I did something on Docs, on Google Docs, but that's not the same thing. But I would really love to do online. I'm terrible with my handwriting.
I think there's a session on that in that Innovate Bio, because I followed some of it. We usually use hard copy bound lab notebooks, but we can't really do that this year. And frankly, I'm just faking it. I'm like, I'm not, I can't have them record data the same way. I just haven't been organized enough.
Right. Well, I did kind of come up with the online on Google Docs.
Yeah, lots of people using Google Docs.
Yeah, that's easy. It's pretty easy. But the Benchling is a free laboratory online book, except it's really complicated. I do not know how to use it. So I don't know. But do you think teaching like with the Google Docs would be an acceptable form, because they can't really cross out with one cross out? It's basically, they're typing it in. So,
my kids who are in academic labs are often are asked to give things electronically. Like, I know that's not going to work for industry, but a lot of them are doing, and frankly, I know they have you can go in and see histories of changes, even maybe even more so than you can with the paper copy. It just makes it so that I can't walk around and yell at them for using pencil or using whiteout or something.
You can track the changes?
You absolutely can track changes. You can go back and see everyone who's changed something, when they changed it, and what they changed it from or to.
On Google Docs?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Go under file version history.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Because I think I'm going to stick with Google Docs.
Yeah, and I was, that reminded me that not everyone might have seen this Innovate Bio page. I can kind of Canvas page. I can quickly show what all resources it has. It won't take more than 5 minutes. Also, I wanted to tell that if you are thinking of a high school, community college partnership, then it's the best idea that also to talk like one-on-one with certain people, like, or if you want, I can help you set up meetings with the Texas group, even if they don't come to this kind of thing, like we can have that kind of information as well as input.
I'm going to try to, contact this. He was supposed to get a hold of me this week, but he never did. So I'm going to try again next week with the CTAE, head of the CTAE in this county.
Yeah.
So we'll see if
Yeah. So the best thing is if the community, if your own college or high school is willing to partner with the other partner, and it can be done at a higher administrative level with your input. There is nothing better than that.
Okay.
It cannot be done, then you can do a lot of groundwork, which I found was extremely meaningful. Contacting local high schools and start going there and building relationships and everything, and even doing.
I've gone to the Forsyth and
Oh,
you know, and I spent a couple summers doing the workshop with Mark Peterson in Paulding County. Yeah.
do you
And
think you
they're
have
very helpful. The
helped
kids
build
would
some?
come up to me and hi, I'm this, and then she goes, you know, spew on about her research, and I was just so impressed by these kids.
Yes, yes,
Awesome.
yes. Yes, definitely. So I mean, we can get more, I guess that one-on-one guidance. And for anyone who has not seen, I think more than half of you have seen, just very, very quickly, this is what the page looks like. I think that you can get permission to use this. Let me use a little bit here. You can also get permission to use this. This is where it starts, course structure. And then it was the summer Innovate Bio 5-week workshop. It didn't run for every day of the 5 weeks, but was once in 5 weeks. And there were different modules. For example, the first one was safety QA/QC, and what is the lab safety, what is lab notebook, information on that, and then quiz on safety and documentation. So these are the things that you can use for your own coursework because they are available for you. And I think then there was
this section right here is great. The math section and these simulations, I used almost all of them. They are really nice.
Yeah. Thank you so much for saying that, because math was entirely developed by me, and there was one mistake which I need to fix, which I fixed for some people who pointed out to me, because people just email me individually and say, hey, that particular answer is not correct. I was like, okay, yes, I'll fix it. But yeah, this calibration for pH meter or centrifuge certificate, pipetting, all of that, these are some things that you can yourself incorporate in the class. So this is my, this is the one that I developed, standard and scientific notation, lots of examples. You can always ask me for more practice problems because I have like hundreds, if not thousands of problems, and on different kinds of things. And these are foundational things. You might need them anytime, like regardless of high school or community college. Practicing molarity, percentage solutions, dilutions, and then there is a Edpuzzle. I hope do you guys all use Edpuzzle, or some of you use Edpuzzle?
Yes.
You do use Edpuzzle, so it's pretty fun. And,
I use the unpaid version. That means I don't check it. I just make them do it.
I use the Edpuzzle. We can't collect data online because of privacy, but I just have my worksheets follow along with the questions.
Oh, that's exactly what I do. I write the questions on the thing and they have to write on a worksheet. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least then it makes it easier for them to find the right answer. I love your math things. I also have a ton of math things. I can share those. I have in doc form directions for some of those lab math that's been helpful, but I'm sharing yours as well as resources. And know about Avi's web page of brilliance, which has like every chemistry math problem in the world. It's fantastic.
What is that?
I'll find it and put it in. Avi Silber, who's not here today, has a chemistry page for his high school course, and it has practice. It just generates 1 million practice problems, and they can get immediate feedback.
And we will, if you share this with me, I will put it in the Google Doc. So when you go to your Google folders, you will find like it is shared with me. In the shared with me, you will find all of these. And the math ones I'll put almost immediately because I have them. Then for anyone who is wondering like about, do we have ready-made modules on DNA extraction? I'm pretty sure most of you know those kind of things or have those kind of things, but there's more fun stuff, the gel electrophoresis, and all of those, they are really really helpful if you want to incorporate those. DNA fingerprinting, I know that Cold Spring Harbor Cold Spring Harbor has a has that facility that they are able to sponsor, or they are able to freely provide you DNA sequence, which means that if you were doing DNA extractions in your lab and you send them to Cold Spring Harbor, to Dave or others in there, that those are our contacts, they will be able to send you sequences back, which is pretty exciting for the students to analyze those and to understand how this whole process works. So they had these sessions, and many of them also have video links to them. And also there is PCR. I think those are some of the topics that are challenging. So it's kind of nice to have a easily understood version of PCR or bacterial identification or all of those things. So, so these are the different things. There is also different aseptic techniques and certificates and all more labs, a lot more to see in this page. There is bacterial transformation. I'm just skimming through it because I know it's 259 now, and there's GFP purification. So there is a lot more happening and a lot of topics that you can kind of go through it. Also, I know that if you ever wanted to hear, there are live session, like there are recordings in place. I think this has recordings. I hope so. If it doesn't, then yes, this probably has these materials and recordings which are present here, which means that if you were trying to, let us say, use something or do something, then you could do. For example, if you want to just learn about a pandemic project using data to answer a question, this particular one, you could actually just look at the entire presentation and see how this was working. So just saying, very, very useful resource. I hope it's useful, especially for the people who are kind of developing things and can help. So I think I don't want to prolong it especially because might have to have the session again later for Texas people to share with us their successful model. But do you want to meet like once in 2 months? Is that like a reasonable, because every one of you is so busy. Is that like a reasonable thing?
Yes. Could you send that link? I used to have that link. There's a couple things I wanted to look at barcoding in there.
In the Canvas and structure one?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, I can. I think it's more like you join Canvas and then you are approved, but I can download some of it. Oh, I'm not sure.
That's okay. I have the link somewhere. I just can't find it.
If you go, if you just Google Canvas, and then you log in with your email and password, you were in this course because you were, Anna, so you will be able to access all of this, and all would be needed is maybe set password.
All right, I see it already. I don't use Canvas, so I just put the Canvas in there.
Okay. Yeah, but for Heather or for, I don't know, Savita, I think you attended.
I did not.
Oh, okay. For Savita, if you really want to get that access, just let me know and I can just forward your emails and ask if Jennifer can provide access to you guys. Also, Heidi, would you be interested in all of these resources? Cindy was there, so I'm pretty sure Cindy has it. Sean, I'm not sure if this would be something. So anyone who wants to just email like one line, just need access to the Canvas or whatever, and we can try to get that.
I'm in the Canvas page, but I don't see your.
You are on the Canvas page, but you may not have attended the workshop. So anyone who attended the workshop had that access. But I am sure they will give you access gladly, because there are about, I think when we calculated, about 200 teachers around the nation who had access. I'm pretty sure it's something very, very open, and we discussed in our meetings that it will be open.
So who do I send the email?
You can send it to me, but I'll copy Jennifer in that. So you will get an email. I mean, you will also see that I'm including you as well as Jennifer. So you know exactly who it's going to, just in case you have any issues, like you can contact Jennifer.
Okay.
For that.
Okay, thank you.
So I have one question for Cindy. So how does this gifted and talented, like your curriculum, everything is already worked out, right? So if you want to just introduce one biotech course, say in a high school, can we just borrow it? Because it's all approved, right? But how does it?
It happens again at the curriculum level. So there are people who are in curriculum, and they do have an approval process. So like if you have a class and you think it should get GT credit, my friend who teaches the animation class tried to get GT credit for it because there's a lot of computer programming and had to go through like lots of hoops and things like that. But I don't know, they're not all the same. I mean, I can continue that. Howard County keeps saying that there can be no application process for anything like it's a federal law, but I know it's not a federal law because you do. So I don't know what it would be like at your county.
I know in Georgia they have the state approved pathways, which the school or the county can adapt, but they're already there in existence.
Yeah, and there's
I
there
don't
are
know the process of getting it into, as you said, the gifted or AP or weighted credit. Is that a state thing or can that be a county thing?
I think the GT and honors is a county thing, at least in Maryland it is. Whether it counts for CTE is a state thing, because there are state mandated courses for that.
Right.
AP is a totally different thing. That's actually a business. That's a company. So yeah.
Oh, that's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I could
Yeah,
go for that.
they won't let us break the AP thing because that's a lot of money. For, you know,
Now, your kids can take the AP test without
Yes.
taking an AP class, and my kids sometimes do.
Oh.
Yeah. True, true, very true. I read about this very recently. So AP is a totally different ball game, but you can honors and GT is where you will have more chances.
Okay.
And you have to go county by county, rule by rule, like just see and what all you can do. And the best is to show by an example, to show that that one course that you can find where things are happening or we can match, you can just manage to break into that one course and offer it in the way like partly like a hybrid. I don't know. I think at this time hybrid is acceptable because of, or online is acceptable because of the situation we are in, but usually it has to be face to face. High school is completely face to face. It cannot never be online. So you can just do that one course. You will see so much interest flowing in and it will just start showing the results. So I feel like step by step is a better way of doing rather than introducing a whole entire program if that's not something that you think is manageable. In our case,
But the main concern is if the students are not getting a high school diploma, like it's not adding to their high school diploma, then why would they take it, right? Because they don't want to do anything extra.
No,
Our kids need I don't know. They get 28 spaces in their to get the 4 years of high school. There are 7 per
20.
7 times
year.
4.
And their
Yes.
requirements are small. So they have to take 28 credits, but they only actually need to. So they really have tons of, if they're not taking 4 years of band and 4 years of foreign language, they have tons of elective credits actually.
And also remember, they're looking for easy credits. Remember, they're looking for something easy. I'm not saying you build an easy reputation. I'm saying you build something which is fun and not so crazy hard that people are like, take it once and they're like, I'm never coming back or telling any friend. You build that nice reputation where something fun is happening, where something applicable is happening, with show all the job prospects, and that one course can start changing things. I personally feel it's very doable because, you know, we kind of did it.
You can buy a lot of hard work with a lot of hands-on experience. Our science curriculum has gotten fewer and fewer and fewer labs, and they're doing it in groups of 4, so no one's touching anything. Our kids say that they do more in our Biotech 1 class and lab than their whole 4 years of high school. So they like that, and then a lot of smiles while they're working on the hard work and food. Food really motivates them. It is illegal in our county, but I'm telling you, we give them, they have candy, they have what we call carbohydrate labs, where the students bring their own reagents and we share those. And so
yeah, we do. When we had exams, after that we had like a pizza party or something. So exams didn't mean a sad thing, kind of always.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, food is a huge motivator. Also, you know, Edmondson does have some clubs, like we're really big on athletics and things. So there are kids and band, there are kids in the building all the time. And so those kids that were in that classroom taking their college courses, they did walk around with their chest poked out, you know, in front of their other classmates, like, I'm going to my college class, you know, and then they got snacks or they got something extra. So the other kids were like, what's going on in there? And they want to look in and see. And the food was really the main reason why they want to see. But they
figured it out pretty quick. Yeah.
Right,
and the assistant principal who we had in school, she was big time. She would bake stuff and bring to class, and it was nice. They had too many, Linnea.
So Maryland does not have a pathway in high school that's already set for the state of Maryland?
No, we do have pathways.
For high school pathway for CTE?
High school to
there's
college.
Pardon me?
There's so many pathways at the high school level. for CTE.
For biotechnology?
Yeah, but none leading to college. Like what I think
No
is
articulation. for the
nothing is
college.
connecting too well.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a game changer. Every single program, you guys, whether you're in high school or community college, that linkage is a game changer. That's what I can tell you from my experience. It's a
And
game.
that really is what the parents want. It's really what the parents want. The CASE program, who's trying to set up a high school one? The CASE program is gives articulation credit. They have to pay for it through Stevenson or one other college, I forget what, but then it transfers. So they do get a college credit for if they pass the test for the CASE ag program.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I
you
mean,
have,
the same thing applies to biomed program. Stevenson University in Baltimore, in Maryland, and also St. Cloud University in Minnesota gives credit. But the problem is, are they transferable? Do the colleges in other states accept the credit?
Oh.
Because they just give by 1 or 2 credit.
okay, let's face it, like a lot of AP colleges, AP credits don't transfer in a lot of different places. So students are aware not every single thing they do will transfer. So they know it and they're willing. And we saw in our case, they were willing to take all the credits as long as it didn't involve too much work. And we said, we promise it's Monday, Wednesday, 1.5 hours after the class. And they're like, okay, we can put in that much. Don't ask a Friday. Don't talk about Saturday, Sunday. And Tuesday, Thursday, we will not do anything for you. I was like, no, you don't need to. Just 2 days every week. That's it. And so keep it limited, keep it lucrative, lots of fun. Like Cindy said, pictures in lab code. Oh, they love it. It's no cost, anything. You do profiles on students, they love it. You highlight people, you put them on Facebook, on social media. Oh, these are non-cost things that can really help. So if every for the community college can manage to establish one program, whether it is in their own next to the next school or a nearby school, it would be amazing. It would be amazing. Of course, the colleges have to be open to, like Cindy already knows that some colleges may be a little crazy. But that's what it is.
But if your students are not going to biotech programs, right? They're just going to normal 4-year colleges. So you're not really contributing to the workforce, right?
Hey, not most of them. I mean, so we have some of our kids do, and Howard County Community College has a MLT program. The problem is, and we have kids who would be interested in that, and a couple of kids, we might have a kid a year who goes through it, which is not nothing for a small county, but they admit students to that program based on lottery. And I think if they promised that they would give one of our students admission to it a year, they might actually get more people signing up for it. Because, you know, especially the kids are being admitted to other schools. And we certainly send a couple kids a year to HCC just because of financial issues. Yeah, but we're not super a pipeline to industry right now.
Yeah. But I think the work you do, Cindy, is incredible. And I feel like some of those students do carry that passion and use it in other places where they're like, oh, that class, I learned all of that stuff already in that class, because you teach some.
Little brag, I had a student come back, we had alumni come back and talk to our class, and she apparently spent the summer working for Regeneron. And nobody in my class knew what it was. And I'm like, you have to tell them what your Regeneron did. And she's like, oh, and was telling like the long story about the antibody. I'm like, no, you need to say, this is what they gave Trump when he had COVID. So it was, and she said she was sleeping on the, you know, on the conference room floor. They were working so many hours over the summer. I told her she would never forget that she was working on that. So yeah, the kids definitely do interesting things as they go forward.
But like, so you don't recommend your students to take any like biotech associate's degree when you're
not most of them. Not most of them. Some of them for sure. Probably over the last 4 years, we've had 3 that we know have gone through associate's degree into the job market. Some of them then planning on eventually getting a 4-year degree. And there may have been more who didn't plot it out with us, but at least 3 students over the last 4 years were like, okay, do this. It's not that many years. You'll be able to get a job, apply for the scholarship so you can have community college paid for, but not the majority of our students. I think
that's happening.
Yeah.
So, because the point is that we want workforce and we want to increase the pipeline for biotech, right? Not just biology or chemistry, because that's happening anyway, right? So the focus should be increasing the pipeline into biotech pathways.
Well,
So they don't have, sorry.
I was going to say, I think that's a tougher pathway, but I think what we really can get the kids encouraged for me is when they go to college and that they want to be in science, they can get a job working in a lab that can, they could get a stipend or get paid for it or something like that, as a freshman, which would be almost virtually impossible as a freshman. I know a couple of kids at Paulding County. I mean, their stuff looks like master's degrees anyway, but as a freshman, he got a lot of accolades working at Georgia Tech, in a lab. So I think that's a huge advantage.
The people on our advisory committee keep saying that they're not hiring people with associate's degree. So I know we need to have those. If they're looking for them, one of them needs to join our advisory committee because we need to figure out, I don't want to prepare them for a job that isn't there, obviously. I think that might be partially, we have a really diverse student population, but our biotech programs are much more kind of the R&D and the headquarters and very little of the kind of churning through, biomanufacturing or testing or things like that. So, but our kids may go out to other counties and work in those jobs for sure.
Yeah. I think that
Good for the overall, I think, but to benefit community college biotech programs, I don't know.
I think so. I think you have to have that 2-point strategy. I always thought about that. One is connect with the high school and have at least do something there, no matter what results you're getting, because you will eventually build up some population coming from there. And the 2 is build up contacts with industry. That's it. That's both ways. You have to bring in.
And the other thing is that since it's a gifted and talented program, the students are already so motivated. They're really smart, right? And they know what they want. So they will, anyway do well in life. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was just writing, we might meet next in March because that would probably be a little more like people will settle down and have all the.
But doesn't completion of a pathway also look good for college applications for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
Because the pathways are in addition to the regular graduation requirements, right? So they have a diploma, the high school diploma plus the pathway certificate. So it adds.
And it makes them stand up and makes them look like they're actually interested in something. If you're willing to invest that much time, it's different from just taking a bunch of APs in some way.
That's exactly what we told them when they were doing with us. That's exactly what we told them. Regardless of where you go, you complete the certificate. It looks really, really good. And actually, some of those students have now applied and already got accepted in many universities. So I don't know who is going to go where, but we'll see.
But the selling point is if the community college faculty goes to the high school, teaches the class, right? Expecting the kids to come to community college. If the community college faculty goes to the high schools and start teaching, the kids would, register for your class. That's the selling point. Because no kid, if you're a senior, but I teach like 3 classes of seniors right now, they're just already checked out.
Yes, the seniors, you're not going to be able to. It's tried in 12th grade. You're not even getting them.
Even juniors, So the best things to do is like you do, go to the high school, teach the class right when the bell rings. Okay, when the class ends at 3:05, you start the class at 3:15.
That's exactly what we were doing. 3:15. Yeah.
You do it.
Exactly.
Don't expect the kids to come to your college building. They won't come.
Yeah, and if people have resources, even put a placard saying a college course running. I mean, I'll tell you, people would be just simple things, smart things would really, really help.
In my school,
all of the high schools, most of the high schools have programs like MESA programs or STEM honor societies or things like that. Girls in science, any of those things. You could even, if you have a student come and talk about what they're doing, that's usually the best the best advertisement is not me, but my students usually.
Yeah. And also, you know, just whoever you have, keep them hanging, in the sense like make them work in a fun but, you know, rigorous way. Because if they're gonna think everything is easy, they're gonna be like, this is too easy. That's definitely the thing. I feel like they feel accomplished and they do good things then.
And make sure the parents and the students understand the program that you're offering
Yes.
is not part of the graduation. They often get confused with that.
Yes, yeah, that was one of our huge tasks. To first explain to the parents, no, this is not giving you credits for high school, and hey, this is extra. We probably will meet in March sometime, but I'll let you guys know. If you can think of anything, do let me know. I will try to put the discussion in. Okay?
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice
Thank
weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.